So there's thousands of travel channels and thousands of sports channels and thousands of entertainment channels. How do you stand out? And that's what we're going to talk about today. How you can stand out in a saturated influencer market, because it is tough to kind of break through in the travel industry, in the education industry, in the entertainment industry, in any kind of thing. But the thing is, you can do it, and there's some things you can do to give yourself a better chance to stick out in a saturated influencer market. And I think the first thing you really need to do is you really have to have a niche that's your own. Like, you can't just be a travel influencer, you have to be a specific kind. For example, I am an honest travel educator. I don't do the floppy hats and flowy dresses and, ooh, look at these cool places to get your Instagram pictures. No, you already bought your ticket. You're coming here to Nancy, France, and I'm going to give you the education you need to have the best time when you're here. Culture, food, scams, all those things. And that's what I focus on. And so you have to have that really niche that you clearly own, like that you're talking about. You ever heard the saying, a jack of all trades, master of nothing? When it comes to being, sticking out on social media, you have to be a master of something, because doing a little bit of everything else just means, look, if I want better, somebody that really focuses on science, I'll go to a science channel. If I want to go somebody that's going to do, math, I'm going to go to a math channel, not somebody that does everything, right? So you have to think about that. Have that niche and own it. And when you own it, how do you own it? Well, you come with your own point of view. You can't just be repeating what other people are saying. Have something that makes yours different. Whether it is, if you're going to do a commentary channel, hey, maybe instead of doing one side, I do both sides, and I'll only bring in facts and I let you make your decision. That could be something that people can do. Because you have to realize, if you have a very specific point of view, it's a lot easier to people to identify you. Oh, that's that person with that point of view, versus I'm not sure where they stand on these issues, so I'm not sure where to really go with them on this. And to really own that niche, it really helps if you really have your own point of view, because when you have your own point of view, like you have one that you really kind of stand for and people know who you are, it makes it a lot easier for them to identify with you and your content versus other ones out there. Because if it's just another, NFL draft kind of thing, I can watch that all over. But you're an NFL draft one that does comedy in skit form that lets people know that, hey, I understand what's going on, so there's a hint of truth there, but we can put a little rumors and humors in there as well. So you got people like Tom Grassi, who does a fantastic job with his NFL takes, right? So you have that kind of thing. So have your own niche, have your own point of view, and really stick with that, because that's going to get people to identify with you and help you stand out. Now, the next thing I have, and I want to tell you this is very, very important. You've got to be you. And you have to be you consistently, because it's called YouTube. People want to know you, because people want authenticity. They don't want fake people. They want someone they can really identify with. And if they're not sure if it's really you on there, if they feel like, oh, no, people, this isn't how you really act, this is how you really are, people aren't necessarily going to identify with you, because you're just another person doing the same silly prank videos, and you're not putting your own thing in it. That's why you don't copy other creators, because you had to be you. People have to identify with you. And if they don't see that you're an authentic person, it's all about you, they'll watch the people they think you're imitating. It's kind of like, if you feel like a Big Mac, where do you go? You go to McDonald's. Where do you go when you want a Whopper? You go to Burger King. So if I want a Big Mac, I'm not going to go to Burger King. I'm going to go to McDonald's. And so that's you have to have your own kind of vibe on there, your own perspective. You have to be you there. So don't be that McDonald's too. Be your own thing, all right? So that's going to help you stand out, because then people can identify with you, right? Now, the next thing I want to say is, anytime you're creating anything, and it doesn't matter, travel, education, entertainment, anything at all, you have to add value. If you're adding value in all your videos, people notice that, like, oh wow, every video I watch from Walter's World actually teaches me about the destination I'm going to. So whenever I'm going someplace, I'm going to make sure I watch his videos. Yeah, because I'm adding value every single time. Why is it that you stop watching some YouTube channels? They don't bring you humor anymore. They don't bring you value anymore. You're not getting anything out of it. And you have to do that with every piece of content. If you make a video and it kind of sucks, you're like, I don't know if my audience is going to like it, maybe you don't put that on your main channel. Have a second channel for your, like, these are my less good videos. I have a whole video channel that's just my less good videos, because they're not good enough to be on the main channel. Because the thing is, if you're not adding value in every video, you're going to have a problem. Because people are going to say, wait, do I really need to watch this video this week? Nah, maybe not. I'll pass on it. Next thing you know, they pass on 2 or 3, and the algorithm says, oh, they don't value your channel anymore, and they won't show it to them as much. So then it hurts your channel. So make sure you're always adding value. Remember, content is king. Good content will get people to notice you. Another thing that can really help you kind of stand out is build a community. Don't just make videos to make videos. Make videos for people. Have an audience that's out there. Respond to those DMs. Respond to those comments. When people ask you questions, make videos about the questions. Create a space for your audience to feel valued and value them. And they're going to stick around because people will notice creators that value their fans, that value their subscribers, that do things with them, that answer their questions, that know who they are. These things help you stand out. It's kind of like you notice the person goes above and beyond, right? Well, it's the same thing here. You go above and beyond with value, above and beyond with how you care about your fans, above and value about being something unique. That's going to help you stand out in a very saturated market. And some people say, oh, there's no space to grow. There is plenty of space to grow. You'll notice people come out of nowhere, then all of a sudden they're really popular and in a flooded market. They didn't come out of nowhere. Because my next thing you need to realize, if you want to stick out in a saturated influencer market, you got to stick around, right? And when I say stick around, you got to be patient and you got to be consistent with the content you're making, that valuable content. Look, you're not going to get big in the first week, the first month, heck, maybe not in the first year. You got to consistently put out that content again and again and again, and then people start to notice, wow, that's some good stuff all the time from them. Because I know we're all going for a viral hit. We think that viral hit will make us huge. No, viral hits will give you a couple of days of like virality. What's going to get you to be really noticed and stuck with over the long term and survive this cutthroat competition is that consistency. Is consistently putting out that value, being persistent and putting things out. Look, you got to keep going, because I know a lot of channels, they were actually really good, but they're like, oh, I put out 3 videos, they didn't do well, I quit. I mean, I remember during COVID and after COVID, a lot of people started YouTube channels and they did like 3 or 4 videos. I'm like, hey, this is actually pretty good. And like, oh, none of them got 1 million views, I quit. That doesn't happen, okay? It doesn't happen. It doesn't. I know those say, oh, this person did. Yeah, that's an exception to the rule. It takes time. And if you want to be noticed, when people see, wow, look at all the content they have, look at all the helpful videos they have, look at all the things they've done, that's going to help build up your credibility and help you stand out in a saturated market. So if you show up day in and day out, guess what? You got a lot better chance of getting that gold play button to put on your wall than if you don't. So these are just a few words of advice I have to give you to kind of help you stick out in a saturated influencer market. What are your tips to kind of stick out in the crowd when there's so many people around, there's so many other people doing similar things? Let us know in the comments below so we can help other content creators kind of pop through the clouds to be noticed. Anyway, I wish you all the best. I'll say bye from here in Nancy, France.